Alright guys, welcome to today's video. Today is February 3rd and today we are going over a few seeds that you can start inside right now. So let's go over it. Alright guys, starting off with number 1 crop to grow inside is lettuce. Believe it or not, Egyptians were the first to cultivate lettuce as a food crop. The word lettuce comes from Latin. The Latin word milky, referring to the plant, and Latin root word as milk. Pretty much you can grow lettuce in containers or pots. In this example, I'm doing it in a milk jug. Lettuce can germinate pretty fast. Roughly around 7 or 10 days depending on the type of the lettuce, but after about 2 or 3 inches of growing you can plant the seedlings outside into, or if they're not strong enough you can wait about 3 or 4 weeks and then you can actually transplant them. Alright guys, starting off with number 2 on this list is everyone's favorite crop to eat and fresh, and a lot of people like eating this and growing this. This crop is my personal favorite, sweet banana peppers, or bell peppers too. Peppers like a lot of heat to germinate. I guess sometimes you might be lucky if you don't have a mat, but peppers like to germinate up to 71 Fahrenheit. The heat just helps it go quicker to germinate because some varieties of peppers can germinate slower than average. Starting them now inside as of February will actually help them a lot, since they can take forever to grow. If you wait for another month or so, you might get a harvest in October or as early as October. Once they are in the ground, you're in a good spot. Guys, number 3 on the list is celery. Celery needs 100 to 120 days to mature. You can plant celery into the spring, into the summer, or summer to the fall time. Celery likes full sun when it's maturing. Obviously not right now because the sun would probably toast these seedlings. But once these celeries mature, they need at least 8 or 9 hours of sunlight. Celery is also a heavy water feeder, so water these a lot more than you think you would have to. For the soil, celery likes organic, fresh, loose soil, so compost or organic matter would work in this case, but if you don't, you can just get loose pre-made soil. Once these are almost mature, you can plant these about 4 or 6 inches apart from each other. And then you also want to thin out your seedlings once they reach about 1 to 3 inches tall. Alright guys, so first thing that you want to do is make sure your soil is wet. Alright, so next we just want to make little holes into the ground about 1 inch deep. Gonna carefully sprinkle a couple of these seeds into my hand, and then maybe 2 seeds per hole. so there's a good chance of them like actually sprouting. So just like that, two or three seeds per hole, just so we can have some things sprout instead of nothing. Apparently, if you have some onion breath, just eat some parsley, and apparently that will help. The largest grown onion was about 10 pounds and 14 ounces for one onion. Yellow onions make up about 70% of the onion world. The official state vegetable for Texas is called Texas sweet onion. Number 5 is spinach. Spinach takes a while to sprout, so by the early spring and summer months, you can harvest just in time. It also is a really easy plant to grow. Number 6 on the list that you can start are tomatoes. You can start tomatoes about 10 to 12 weeks before your last frost date. You can start them inside about February 16 and then transplant them about April or July. Number 7 on the list is eggplant. You can start eggplant inside about February 2nd till July 16. And you can transplant them about April to July. Coming at number 8 that you can grow right now is broccoli. Broccoli likes about 65 to 75 Fahrenheit or 18 to 24 Fahrenheit. It will become like bitter if the temperatures are too high for it. For the soil requirements, they like to be in a loose mix with a little bit of sand and some clay. Then you can actually harvest the broccoli between 65 to 75 days after you planted it. Coming up at number 9 on the list is basil. They do best once the soil reaches about 75 to 84 Fahrenheit. Then after about 10 to 14 weeks later, they will sprout. And then another 6 to 4 weeks, you can actually transplant them into the garden. It will germinate between 14 to 30 days, I believe. You can harvest the plant between 70 to 90 days. First, before you plant the parsley seeds, you want to soak them in water for about 6 to 12 hours overnight. After the seeds have done soaking, you want to gently press them on the soil and then just lightly cover them. You want to keep the soil moist while germination. In some occasions, it can take 2 to 3 weeks for them to actually appear on the soil. Well, hopefully you liked that video, and I'll see you in the next one.